Good evening.
Hello, hello.
It's not very often I get to do this twice.
No, I was like, nope, nope. Okay, I'm getting to it.
Did we not have this conversation not 5 minutes ago?
Damn
Wow.
it.
Even Adrian would have been so proud.
I'm sure she would have. I'm just glad she wasn't. I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest. I'm just glad that she was not on yet.
Oh, she can always catch the replay.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Wow. Okay, well, I am still working on getting this thing showed out. It's trying to share this thing out between the phone and the computer at the same time is it can be such a pain in the ass sometimes.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Um, and sometimes it never pans out very well either. So, all right. So tonight on Supernatural Talk, we have an anomaly. We have not had a guest on this show in well over a year. So, pretty exciting times now. We actually have a new face on the show for once.
Yes,
Because usually when we do have a guest, it's somebody that people already know, right?
that's right.
And now we have somebody we don't know, except for Adrian, of course. So, Lynn, tell us, who the hell are you?
The little known Lynn. Um, my name is Lynn Sabulski, and I am 46 years old. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is the purple stripe in the middle of Pennsylvania, affectionately known as Pennsyltucky. I lived there until 2007 when I moved out here. I was telling Jeremy earlier, I moved out here shortly before the financial crash, working as an executive recruiter in finance. I also had a hello, hello. I
Oh,
also,
I know her.
you do.
The devil you know.
Yeah.
And I
Nick, I
also had a
cannot
15
even see
year
that
career
picture.
in college financial aid.
All right, now, I'm going to need you to clarify something here. Did you just say you're 46 years old?
Yes.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
No, I'm calling filter. It's the lighting.
Yeah.
Wow. For once, I thought we actually had somebody on the show that was younger than Nick. I'm being dead serious here.
I,
Hello, Adrian.
I'm trying to share this out.
That's what I was just doing too.
Nick, were you on time?
uh no. I, I just realized I didn't realize what time it was until Jeremy said it. He's like, Nick, and I literally like just dropped whatever I was doing just to jump on here immediately.
Yeah, and
Boy,
that was at least 5 minutes before you came on.
No, it was even before. It was more than that, Jeremy.
Jer- uh,
Okay, we'll go with that. It was more than that. Yeah, we'll go with that. So it was more than 5 minutes.
Nick, do you have an Alexa?
I do. I do, but unfortunately,
There's
that my
this
dad has it
handy
though.
button. You know, set timer.
Yeah.
We go through this with him every week.
If my ass can do it, my old ass knows how to do that. You certainly can do it.
Now, to be fair, you were later than usual today, Adrian.
Yeah,
because
that
I
is
was
true.
stuck on a call for over an hour with a guy.
Oh, I hate that when that happens.
Oh,
I
especially when with a guy. Yeah.
I think a girl would have been worse. She'd have lost her temper long before he did.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. So, thank goodness it's my Friday.
Well, welcome to your short vacation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we're off Monday too. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so I need to ask this because I when I was in New York a few years ago, I visited a friend who also had an apartment above them stores. Um, this apartment that I went into was about the size of this room. Is yours the same way?
Our apartment and every apartment I have lived in here, they have been so ridiculously small. Um, this we have a three-bedroom apartment right now, one bedroom of which is my partner's book collection. One is like a music and gardening room and storage room, and then we have the bedroom. Um, you can fit a queen size mattress, but you can't fit an end table on either side of the bed. There's not enough space from wall to wall. Um, Storage is unheard of. I mean, we have like two closets, and that's amazing that we have any at all. Most of the buildings here were built for, families or slaves or just, many groups of people living together, and now they're trying to like section them off into apartments, but it's like, things are weird sizes and weird shapes. And yeah, definitely much, much too small. You just learn to pare down.
I know it'd be extremely hard for me. This apartment that I came into, um, it was in Brooklyn. I remember that because I had to um, cross the waterway to get onto that island. You walk into the door. Here is the living room, which is also where the bed is. Um, to the right is like a kitchen counter, and then a bathroom right behind it. That was it. It could not have been 500 feet square feet. And I'm thinking to myself, do people really live in these small places?
They really do. And it's just one of those things that people get accustomed to. But every time I travel with someone who is a native New Yorker, it's like one of the first things they talk about when they go to anyone's like regular house, regular apartment. Is like, oh my God, you guys have so much space. Oh my God, you have a yard. Like the yard is the big thing. People have to go to a park to get the nature thing. Just the idea that someone has like windows big enough to put plants on or that like postage stamp of yard is a lot out here. Part of why we love this apartment is because if you go out the window of the back bedroom and walk onto the roof. It is enclosed by metal bars, so we have like a makeshift deck. That's sort of a thing out in Brooklyn where people hang out on their roofs that are not really meant for like people to be kind of walking around, but they have parties, they have gardens. I'm guilty. I have a rooftop amateur garden.
Okay, so how close are you to Central Park then?
Oh, I mean that's like a train into Manhattan. So I mean it's doable, but I'm closer to like well, McCarran Park is here in Williamsburg. That's the section of Brooklyn
Oh,
I'm in. So
I got my geography mixed up. I was thinking Manhattan. Yeah, I got my geography mixed up. So, but still, Brooklyn. That's pretty spacey area, very crowded area.
it's pretty crowded here. Yeah, for sure.
No, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, and what part did you say?
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg. Okay, I'm actually looking this up.
Or or-
I'm more familiar with Prospect Park.
yeah, I've been to Prospect Park many times.
Yeah, because I actually kind of had to integrate Prospect Park into something that I worked on a couple of years back.
Yeah, my partner Alex grew up like very close to Prospect Park.
Okay. It- Oh, the pitter patter of small paws.
He's got my house shoe, which is now his house shoe.
Oh,
Okay. So so you do tarot.
yes.
What sparked your interest in that?
Well, I always knew I was intuitive. Um, growing up, I had always seen, shadow people and sensed presences and things like that. Um, but I grew up Catholic, and so it was hard to explore. I mean, the official, rule was, hey, all of that stuff, you dabble in tarot or Ouija boards or whatever, you're going straight to hell, one way pass. Um, so it wasn't until my late 20s, early 30s. I had moved out to Long Island and I had this dream of my hands shuffling tarot cards. And up to this point, I had like two tarot readings in my entire life. And that was when I was in Pennsylvania, and they foresaw me moving to New York. Um, so I had this dream of my hand shuffling tarot cards, and they had a blue and white back, and I couldn't find the cards. Eventually, my partner unknowingly bought them for me as a gift. And it was like they were the exact cards in the vision. And when I opened the box, it was like my hair stood up on my arms, and it was just this like deep knowing that this was a thing I was supposed to do. Um, I had by that point I had bought myself like Easy Tarot handbook for $10 off Amazon, and I taught myself tarot. And tarot is really just, a system. It's the deck is very much like a deck of regular playing cards. There's four different suits in tarot. There just happens to be 22 extra cards. Um, the suits correspond to the elements. The numbers have their own sorts of meanings. So it's not that hard to pick up. Um, what I think for me and for most people who are doing this type of work, what speaks to us is the images on the card. And for individuals, that can be anything. I could look at the imagery on a card and be like, oh, that reminds me of a scene from a movie that I saw or a book that I read, or, those characters remind me of a situation my friends had. It's like your entire life experience becomes elements of language that are used to communicate between the tarot reader and whatever you want to call it. Is it spirit? Is it the universe? Is it, you
That's
know,
like, yeah, that's like I tell you, Jeremy, when we talk about mediumship, it's the same thing. It's, if somebody is trying to tell you about a bank or something, you may see a picture of your bank or one as a child or something that draws your mind to whatever that is for you. So you can't teach somebody the same thing, because it's going to be something different for them.
Mhm. Yep.
Right.
I mean, that being said, like, the times where I've done events that have other tarot readers,
Mhm.
sometimes there's a party and, they hire a couple different readers and we're just reading all the guests all night. Um, there are party cards for sure where, like, a number of people just keep pulling, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Swords, whatever it
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
But yes, I mean, I feel like everyone kind of has slightly different or even vastly different meanings for their cards. You don't have to use tarot cards. I mean, I can do some form of divination with, crystals, with tea leaves, with, leaves and objects on the ground. I mean, anything is kind of open. It's just, I think tarot, because it has so much imagery onto one card, it just has more potential to communicate more information versus if I'm looking at like leaves in a cup, there are only so many clumps there that are gonna give me stuff.
So, my daughter sent me tarot cards. She said, I heard that you have to have them gifted. And I'm like, sure. Okay. I would love for you to gift them too. She didn't open them to see what they were. The front said badass tarot cards.
Yes.
And I opened them up and went, oh, well, these are a little explicit. And yes, they very, very much were very explicit. But that is now my favorite. They actually opened a witchy store here in Greeley not long ago. I
Yes.
didn't find out about it till like Monday. So I couldn't go. And about the same time, a woman said, I found you on the pagan page. And I'm like, huh? She said, I opened this new page and it was a witchy pagan page. And it was just all locals. And so now we're all going to get together. She does runes. And I would
Cool.
love to see her do them. Not that I can do them, but I would love to see her do them. And she's going to teach us how to do that and make the incense,
Yeah,
little cone incense.
yeah.
We're going to have something every week where we teach each other. I think it's just going to be fun.
That's going to be so cool. That's going to be so much fun. Have you had that before, like that community space where it's the best. Brooklyn used to have a group called Tarot Society, and that's actually how I started reading
Oh, wow.
professionally. My partner took me to, this group we saw advertised, and it was being run out of a yoga studio, and they would have like 9 or 10 tarot readers around the circumference of the room, and people would pay a suggested donation like 5, $10, and
Mm-hmm.
they could go around to like all of us if they wanted to and get a tarot reading.
Oh,
And the
wow.
purpose of it was so if someone wanted to learn how to read tarot, they could sit down with somebody and learn. If they wanted to just kind of discuss their progress, or if people wanted to kind of, it was just a community space for that sort of thing. And some of my closest friends to this day are people that I met at Tarot Society. Um, One of the reasons it broke up is we lost the yoga studio. The yoga
Mm.
studio was like renting whatever. Again, we had like suggested donations, and somebody with the studio went online and said, "Well, how much are people getting paid for readings?" Like, oh gosh, some people are getting paid like $200-300 for readings. They must be making $8,000 a night at this event, and we're only charging. So that's how that unfolded. But that was
Yeah.
my introduction into reading professionally. And I remember the first night that I read, it was like Valentine's weekend. And I
Oh,
had only read for like, a handful of people, the person who had hired me for the event. And I just remember like seeing all the people walk in, and I'm just going, a
uh-huh.
lot of ways.
Right, right. Yeah, I think this little store is going to try to do tea and tarot like
Yes,
one
yes.
night, something like that. Well, it's a work in progress, and I'm going to go check it out Saturday. But I thought that was pretty cool. I know
It's
we got.
great.
Um, hey, Robert. So um, Sue asked, "What is Lynn's favorite tarot deck?"
My favorite tarot deck. Oh, um,
It sounds like that badass one would be just by the way that she reacted to that.
No, you don't understand. This has penises on it. This has
Ooh, that kind
this
of
has
badass tarot, like
the love
bachelorette
card.
party badass tarot.
The love card. It says love on the bottom of it. I don't remember which card it was. I haven't gotten to really mess with them. Is two women kissing.
Yeah,
Um,
excuse me.
Another one is just all pretty explicit. Yeah, and it's got some funny ones. I mean, just they're just really funny. But yeah.
I would have to say, I mean, my favorite has to be the Aquarian tarot because that was the one that I saw in that initial vision of my hand shuffling the tarot cards. With that said, there's this deck called the Prisma Visions Tarot that I am really in love with at the moment.
Right.
The artist James R. Eads is just a beautiful, talented artist. I mean, his images are just stunning.
Okay, that Aquarian is. I like the I like the artwork on that.
My favorite part about the Aquarian Tarot, it was such a great deck to start with because it's easy to read in the dark. It's got those nice, like, clean images and the white card backgrounds. So if you're in like a dimly lit scenario, the Aquarian Tarot imagery kind of pops out.
Oh, how cool. Okay. Okay. Let me go back here. Miranda, that is actually my cousin. And
Hi.
she was saying hi to Max, the little
Now I was
dog.
going to ask, who is
I
Max?
was that was the
Max
same
is the
question I
little
was going to
dog that
ask.
was in my lap.
Aw.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little backstory on that. Unfortunately, my aunt will not be able to go home. So Max is now going to stay with us, but I'm going to take him up this summer to go see her. She's able to have visitors, so she'll get to go see him, or I'll get to go take him to see her. Um, Greg, thank you, Greg.
Hey,
Robert,
Lauren.
hey, bud. Braxton, it's nice to see you back. And yes, a penis card. Yes. Yeah, so at the end of the show, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This show, there's not a whole lot of boundaries when I'm on this show because, like, my mouth is filter doesn't happen. Like it doesn't.
I'm here for it.
Does
Yeah.
Hi, Lauren. Does Lynn use different decks for different reading purposes, circumstances, or client situation?
Woo! Hallelujah. Yes, I do. Um, so I have a deck called the Crystal Tarot that has the name of each card in French, German, Italian, and Spanish, which I use if I know I'm going to be working an event where different languages are spoken or there might be barriers. Just seeing the title can kind of
Right,
help people.
right,
Um, if I am working an event where I know there will be a higher proportion of people who are not white, I try to use a deck that features like animals or characters or something like that instead of a lot of the traditional decks that have all white characters or, like, all white characters and one token character with brown skin. So I try not to delve into that if I can help it.
right,
Um,
right.
I have a Halloween deck that I use that has cute little pictures of ghosts so that I'm not, so there's a little spark of the sunshine among the goth, which I also like, but, trying to keep it family friendly. Um, I use different decks if I'm reading for healers and other people doing spiritual work. Usually they're doing so much work and meditation, they can handle some really heavy concepts. So there are better decks with that. Um, I can use a deck with angels if I'm talking to somebody who is based in Christianity and they're more comfortable seeing angels and Jesus and saints. There are decks for that. Um, yeah, absolutely. It's good to have one or two decks that are like the regular working decks, but it really does make a difference if you can kind of cater your deck to your audience.
Love you, Tammy.
So if you keep track of it, how many decks do you have?
I only have maybe 15.
Oh
Not
my
that many. I
god.
mean, I know people who have like 70 or 80, and, honestly, it could right down to the, very small New York City apartments. There's just not space for it. I got
That was actually the answer I was expecting, 70 or 80.
So while we finish this question, if somebody wants a reading, let us know in the comments. That way we can at least know what's going on. Why is my face hot? I certainly know I want
Probably
one
still pissed
before
off
we're
from
done.
that phone call you were just on.
No, I've been having I don't know. I've been trying to come down with something and I've been fighting it. It's trying to fight back at this point.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
Whew. I now that I can calm down, I actually called into work yesterday. I'm like, I can't do this today. I'm done. Can't do it. Special needs high school student in my area was hit by a car on her way to school. She unfortunately did or didn't make it. Lauren, please. Oh,
I'm
please keep.
guessing
No, I guess she
she
didn't.
didn't.
Please keep her
Yeah.
family in your
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah,
Will do. That's awful. That's
I, I hate when I hear about things like that.
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
I saw something come across my feed just a little while ago, right before I got off work, that said lost juvenile, just a street down from us. I'm like, if that was my kid, I'd be freaking out.
Didn't.
And so, and we have a park behind us, so I'm always watching out that window when the kids are getting off the bus. I try to take my break around that time to make sure they're getting at least from one end of the block to the other where I can see okay, even though
That's so nice. That's so
most of them are
nice.
high school students. But there was one point I called the police because one had a gun and was selling it to another one. I'm like, are you
I
are you
remember.
kidding me right now?
I remember that one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, you got to be kidding. I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing. You got to be kidding.
I
No.
was I was working at a college financial aid office once at this admittedly very shady school that got shut down. And one of the students brought in a duffel bag and came in and said, "Hi, Miss Lynn, can I like keep my duffel bag in your office?" And I go, "Oh, sure, you can keep your duffel bag in my office." And it had guns in it. It was like, 10 minutes later, a police officer walked in and they just took the bag and walked out.
Wow.
Jeez.
And the thing is, with today's society, that is starting to become the norm.
I
Mhm.
know. Yeah, it's
I know, and
unfortunately yes.
I don't know how to say it any nicer way, but I am so thankful my kids are grown because I know that my grandkids have adapted to this, and that scares me that they have adapted to this. Thank goodness they live in a town of probably 200 people. And when my granddaughter snuck out, all the neighbors were calling, "Do you know your daughter's?" Yes. That's what we need.
Raised by a village.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, when I lived in Kentucky, it was don't call me, discipline that child, then send him home. Gotcha. Not a problem. I tear his ass up. No problem. Has Lynn considered designing her own deck? Uh, what
That's a good
themes
question.
are
That's a
attractive
good
to her?
one.
What are the Sorry, what was the last part?
What themes are attractive to you?
What themes are attractive to me? Ooh, gosh. Of course, I have thought about it. I lack both the artistic skill and the patience, but boy, can I dream. So AI will help me with that surely someday. I would love to see a Lisa Frank tarot deck where the characters on the card and the pictures on the card correspond to the traditional tarot meanings. There is a Lisa Frank tarot deck out there somewhere, but the imagery doesn't really match up, and so it's kind of hard to. So I won't get it because it will be weird and clunky to read with, and I just want a higher standard. I love color. The more colors and combinations of colors, the better. So any kind of deck that would have like a range of colors, that would be the most attractive.
I tend to like associate colors with feelings or things,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like Most people are like, red is anger, but it's not to me. So it's like, I think if I did that, I would screw a lot of things.
Well, I can definitely understand red being associated with anger, but I also see red as something involving love too.
Yeah, that is
But
that is a
see,
good point.
right, because that's what we're taught to think, and that you see red when you're mad. No, I don't. But not unless I hit somebody and they're bleeding, I don't see red. But um, and love, we're taught to associate that with the heart and red and things like that. But if you completely try to disassociate with what you've been taught, hey sweetheart, um, then those colors mean something different to you. Red to me is calm. Like put me in a red room and it's calm. It's elegant. It's just calming.
Are you like metal yoga also,
I have
Connie?
never done it. No, no, no. Metal will make me see red or see red
Okay.
on Zach because he does that metal stuff, and it's like, how do you understand the words to this? Because if you stop and listen, you would understand. No, I do not. Absolutely, I do not, and I can't get past the screaming.
No, I know some people that just like puts them right into the zen zone.
That's him. That is him, and I'm like, how? All I hear is screaming and anger and no. He says, well, how do you understand your country music words? And I said, well, they're plain as day. He said, well, mine are too.
Usually, yes.
Huh?
Usually, yes.
Yeah. Well, now it's become more rap than anything else, I think, and that's kind of showing
Well,
my age. But thank you. You're welcome. So this is the deck. This little
let me.
badass deck.
Check
Nice.
that out.
Yeah, that's the one that I found when I searched for when you mentioned it.
Okay, so it's got some cute little things in it. It really, really, like well, that one not so cute, but King of Portals. Okay, King of Portals.
That's as zoomed in as I can get you there.
Let me see if I can. Oh,
Yeah, there you go. I
There you
can't.
go. There you go.
Oh, old man, young woman.
old man is the, and then things like that.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the
That,
old
that,
man.
that actually looks like a corn cob.
Well, I would be okay if that's what it was. Five of Wands. What's Wands?
Okay.
I'm saying there is a party for this deck, for sure.
I'm gonna say I'll probably never attend that kind of party.
Well, actually, I know a group of people that you would have at the house, and you could use that deck of cards.
Oh, and this one, it's like these are just like fun because it's the Wheel of Fortune,
Yeah.
and he's gonna shoot the cigarette, and these are all famous people. I can't even think of his name now. He was the Playboy Bunny
Hugh
owner.
Hefner.
Hefner?
What was his name? My goodness.
Hugh
Um,
Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. That was him and his wife. The old lady and or the young lady and the old man.
Nice.
So
I
yeah,
have never seen an old woman with him. It has always been
Yeah,
somebody
I
who's
I I haven't either.
25.
Max, you're not the lady you
Whoa.
think you are.
Jeez.
Knock it off. Rose, Ghost. Okay. Jeez, he thinks he's
So,
big.
so speaking of Tob, you had mentioned that one deck that you have for people who feel more comfortable with Christianity and Jesus, and those, do you have, or if they even have them, um, any decks that are geared towards other religions like Buddhism and things like that?
There is actually, I have a deck. This is my, it's like a booklet and a deck. It's called the Tolku Oracle. Um, this is what I do for my morning ritual instead of reading a tarot book. I pull one of these cards. I want to say there are like 50 some cards in this deck, but they are all, they could be anything from, like, here's a honeybee, and they go on about like all the different cultural connections and spiritual connections to honeybees, if it represents, gods or goddesses and things like that. Here's the ohm sound. We know that's like the, primordial sound. It can be a raven. I have a raven totem, so I feel like that's really significant. Sometimes it's just like a chakra that we're supposed to be working on. Um, but that's what I do. And this deck has just, references to, you name it, it's in here someplace. I'm kind of, um, I don't really stick to one tradition. I just kind of like to mix them all up and see what speaks to me at any given moment and not really commit to anything.
Braxton says, now, little background. Braxton is in Louisiana.
Okay.
Um, so we love to go into the voodoo hoodoo with him. But he says, I love the Japanese item in your background, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. I got this right before the pandemic started. Um, and I do not know the poet's name, but my understanding is that the poem is about plum blossoms because, they're like the first thing to blossom. It's still winter, there's still snow on the branches. And so the whole poem is about the beauty of the plum blossoms in spring, and the whole symbolism is perseverance.
You don't have the poem?
I do not. But it's whatever this is right here. This is the poem. That's the only writing on the screen.
We
Would you
will
take a picture of
screenshot
that
that.
and try to do a reverse search?
We will screenshot that, send it to my son,
Yes,
and
please.
he will be able to tell you. He teaches English in Japan. Well, I'm sure Zach told you
There
that.
you go.
I have a bachelor's degree in English and a spot in my heart for English teachers.
Especially in Japan with, I guess, they're they're usually challenged children that he deals with.
Anyway,
But I tell you what, he is so good with those kids. He's he's amazing with them. I would not have. Well, in Japan, the kids don't act like they do here.
wow.
Um, they
Are
they
unique.
have some manners to them. Yeah. So
Which is a rare commodity these days.
Mardi Gras voodoo tarot deck. Hmm.
I can see that one being a fun one.
Well, I don't know that it would get much more Mardi Gras than this deck.
I don't know. They do some pretty weird shit down there.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Oh, I know. I was there. I did that pretty weird shit. You get all those wonderful beads if you show your boobs, man or woman. It don't matter. It's show me your boobs. Nick, you want to go?
um, I mean, I would like to go. I would like to go down there, but I don't know if I'd want to go for that occasion.
He still hasn't conquered the boobies of Illinois.
No, no,
Watch it. Watch it.
Nick. It does not matter if you go in December. You're going to see people on those balconies holding
Yeah.
up those beads saying, "Show me your boobies."
Well, in December down there, it's still fairly warm.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's one of my favorite places. Humidity is awful, but so is dry. So pick your poison. I don't know.
All right, now, Lynn, with tarot reading, does your partner do the same things too, or is there any? No.
Hard no, absolutely not. Um, my partner is an atheist. He does not do any of the tarot, spiritual, woo
Uh,
woo, nothing whatsoever. Nope.
Yep, that's mine. That's mine.
a,
Yep.
a, a lot of couples are like that, where one is really into some form of the paranormal spectrum, and the other one is hell no.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
Right.
it's I would say both of us are the intellectual types, and we're just, coming to different conclusions about the world. But um, I think it's hard to find somebody to have a respectful debate with, especially about
Exactly.
something that is important to you, like your belief system or your lack of a belief system. And, when you find somebody who can hold the opposite point of view and
Yes.
still look at yours with curiosity and respect,
Yep.
and, when both people are willing to say, well, hey, we could just put a pin in that. We don't have to have an answer to that. We can agree to disagree. That is something I feel rare and special. It is
Hmm.
truly one of the things I appreciate most about my partner is that I know that there is no possibility that I'm going to go like too far into the woo woo
Hmm.
land. It's going to be some kind of conversation. I'm going to be grounded in reality no
Hmm.
matter what.
Hmm.
This is why I was telling you earlier, before we went live, why I've been kind of staying away from the paranormal, because that respect factor has seemed to all but disappear.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
so luckily you found somebody where you can be able to have that kind of conversation and still agree to disagree.
I think a lot of ideas and beliefs about, tarot reading, divination, psychic work, the paranormal. I mean, some of these are kind of like buzzwords for, occurrences and things that have been happening throughout all of, human recorded time.
Hmm.
But here's where I'm going to get controversial on your show. I think one of the people who has been a main contributor to kind of like helping to mainstream some of this stuff is Taylor Swift.
Hmm.
She's got crystals and symbols in all of her stuff, and I think that has really kind of made some of this stuff a little more mainstream and a little less scary to people.
Hmm.
I am not ashamed to say this, but I am a huge Taylor Swift fan.
She's got such great lyrics. Come
Yes,
on.
yes,
Yes.
she does. Okay, so since we're going in this direction, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, for me, I think Anti-Hero resonates the most, personally.
Oh, that's good. The music video is creepy as hell. Especially the way that she comes in behind herself in the bathroom.
Yeah. I love the part where she's like, the eat me, drink me sort of thing. I remember being little and, Alice in Wonderland, and I felt like even then that concept resonated of like having to fit yourself to the different situations.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's an absolute genius when it comes to her lyrics. Her music, the later stuff I'm not too crazy about, but the lyrics themselves, she's unmatched.
I really didn't get into her until, I think Midnight's was a standout, but the Tortured Poets was really the one that like clinched it for me. I said, okay, I have to just like admit that over time I've become a
Hmm.
Swiftie. But yeah, I mean, she's got all these different eras, and some of them are like, yeah, been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and then some of them are like, oh wow, these are some insights that she has come away with. I can't
Hmm.
I can't wait for her to like keep getting older, and I hope she keeps writing songs. Because 40s, I mean, this has been a trip, and I feel like there are some anthems
I don't see her stopping.
She did make a comment, which I have to give credit to my best friend's son that's with me right now, because I'm not a Swiftie. Absolutely not. She left country, she can have it. But I think all the popularity about her is getting a little crazy. And it's not her fault. It is not her fault. But um,
It's on the same level as what Michael Jackson's was.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Not his fault. It's everybody took off with it because they're good, and that's, you have to give them that credit. They are good, or it wouldn't have happened. But he told me that she had made a statement that now that she's with Kelsey,
Hmm.
that she doesn't see her lyrics being like they have been because she can't use her heartbreak to pull from. So I think we're going to see her go in a different direction. I told him that'll change. This is celebrity marriage. It's going to go the other way pretty soon. Don't worry about it.
Well, just because you're in a happy place, that does not mean you cannot go back and seek inspiration in the dark places where you used to be. Because a lot of people still do that today. They go back into their memory banks and pull from them. I do that.
That's
It might,
true, but for women, we live in the here and now, and it's really hard to pull, actually feel what you felt back then, unless you still do. And if you still do, you should probably reevaluate your situation, because you shouldn't be able to even feel that anymore. If your current situation is where it needs to be, women are a whole lot different than men on that. That we just are. But
I do know that there are some circle groups out there that cannot wait for the breakup album for this one.
I I hate that people are rooting for that. I do.
I know, but people are
She
actively
do enough breakup albums? Like, come on, how many do we need?
everyone.
Unfortunately, that is so much life. But you know, I don't care. I'm not a Swifty.
You don't have to be.
Hater. I'm just not. But I wish her the best, just like anybody else. And I don't want her to go through that just to have some other content to do. That's I did not realize until he told me how old she was. I To me, she was still a teenager. In her 20s still.
Well,
Yeah,
that's how we were introduced to her. She was only 16 when her first song came out.
I know, I know, and that is seriously showing our age.
That's right up there with like the Stranger Things and being like, oh gosh, we've been watching this for like how many years now?
I,
That's
I didn't have this 20 years ago.
Oh,
Well, if I did, it wasn't this color.
hmm. Miranda says father figure.
That one,
Was that one of her songs?
it's one of the songs from the new album, and
Okay.
more people are saying that that is about Scott Brahman, the guy that had bought all of her masters and wouldn't sell them to her.
Oh, okay,
That,
okay.
that's what most people believe what this song is, because she never actually says what these songs are, but the clues are in there.
Yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
and that's a good way to stay, even in a relationship, you want to stay a little bit, where you're not completely 100% predictable, but you're trustworthy. Hmm.
that is what I strive for, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to be predictable, and I guarantee you, Zach is not predictable. He, I call it word vomit. I don't know what the hell he's saying half the time when he comes up with stuff, because it's like squirrel. He pulls shit out of the air, and it's like, okay, honey.
The wheels never stop.
No, they don't. And that's
I can tell.
That's
But
how it is for me. I'm always going into something.
Yeah.
And,
oh,
and apparently, so is this guy right here. He's doing another show while we're doing ours.
No,
what?
no, he ended up calling me instead to let me know that we had to reschedule things.
Oh, good. That means you don't have to leave here
I don't
early.
have to leave. That's what I was going to tell you. I was going to say I have good news to bring up.
It took all of 15 minutes for him to figure out he's not doing another show tonight.
I got better news.
Well, it wasn't 15 minutes.
Take
It
your
was
phone.
like,
Take it. Take your phone. Put it on mute. Take it in the other room, and you
that's
leave
why
it
I
there
muted myself.
during our own show. No, you mute it during the show, or I'm going to start calling you on the next damn show.
I, I actually thought he was trying to talk to us and
Yeah,
didn't
I
realize
saw,
he had himself muted. That's
I
why,
saw
that's why
Oh,
I put that banner back up.
that.
okay. Okay, Lynn.
Yes.
This one is going to take you a bunch of different directions. This is my cousin. She says my mom is here with me at my house, which is my first cousin. Beautiful lady, love you. Um, she's in Kansas. She wants to know if her grandpa has a message for him. Grandpa died not long ago. And while you're doing that, I am going to get a drink
Oh,
and then
she's
come
the one
back
that
in
you
here.
go and visit all the time, isn't she?
Huh?
She's the one that you go and visit all the time?
Her grandma, yes.
Okay.
But grandma's not there. Grandma's the owner of the dog. This is her daughter and her daughter.
Okay. Year ago in July. So that means everything is still fresh. Shh, Chris, we're having a quiet moment.
I was going to say, it just got so quiet.
It
Yeah.
did. It did.
Well, Lynn is preparing herself. She's got a big job to do right now. So no yelling and screaming aloud.
I'm assuming we're waiting for Adrian to get back. Yes.
She just said that while you were shuffling, she was going to go get herself a drink.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could wait.
Yeah, I don't know if she said anything about waiting until after you get back. I didn't catch it. I don't think she did.
Well, I mean, it is her family.
No, I'm laughing when Lauren said corn cob, Nick.
Yeah, well, after the picture that we saw of the corn cob,
Yeah.
I don't think we want to go there.
No, we don't. Yeah, so this person she's talking about is my uncle, and I only got to see him once.
Okay. Okay. So what I did here, I can feel presence. I felt a presence earlier. I can feel a presence. I can see kind of like a spark, but to be honest, my mediumship skills are like the thing that I'm working on in 2026. So I pulled some tarot cards to kind of augment the conversation. Is there a message? Um, so I pulled a reversed death card, which always means like death is not the end, sort of thing. Um, followed by the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords talks about anxiety, and so this is like, hey, don't be worried. There's nothing to be worried about. Um, we have a Two of Swords, so it looks like somebody is trying to make some sort of decision. I'm hearing grandma. I don't know how they are related, but there's some sort of decision that is being made, and there is paired a paired reversed Five and Six of Cups. And so this has something to do with Five of Cups is kind of looking at um, bad situations instead of good situations, and it's reversed. And so that would be saying if someone tended to look at the negative instead of the positive, that cycle is ended. They're able to see things more positively. And then this reversed Six of Cups. Six of Cups talks about like having all the options in front of you and being able to kind of like pick and choose what you want. And so that being reversed is kind of saying, hey, this wasn't my choice. This wasn't the option that I would have selected. Um, there is also a reversed strawberries card, which is unique to this deck. Um, Essentially, what this card is saying reversed is it saying I am less concerned with myself and what is good for me, and I am now more focused on the experiences that others are having. And then this is not meant to freak anyone out. It came out in the reading. I pulled the devil card. The devil card in tarot is represented by Capricorn. So if there's any sort of Capricorn energy, it could represent that, but in general, what the devil card represents are the ways that we are our own undoings. And so there could be, in relation to whatever this decision card is, there could be a sense of where am I my own undoing and try to move away from that and into a new cycle. That is what I'm getting. Does any of it make sense?
Oh,
It made sense to me. Now, Miranda, Tammy,
If it makes sense to Miranda, that's the important thing.
That's right.
Miranda and Tammy, they're both right there together.
Oh, okay.
Tammy is my beautiful cousin that came to the wedding. She is an absolute gorgeous doll. She's amazing. I have not gotten to meet Miranda personally. So this is the family that I was adopted out of and reconnected with. So it's, I'm meeting everybody slowly,
Wow.
which, at my age, better get the hell done because yep, some of it makes sense. Yep.
So, Miranda, do you need her to clarify on certain things, or do you just want to leave it as it is?
Miranda, I got some because as a medium, I'm not as connected as if I know everything, and I didn't know Uncle Don. Like, you know, I got to see him once, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But the message I'm getting is, don't worry about it. It's okay. This is how it's meant to be. I don't know what that's to, what that's about. That's just what comes across.
Now we have Joanne, who's asking for a reading.
yeah.
Oh, Joanne, I'm so sorry that you're doing wow.
25 inches of snow. It felt like we got 25 inches last night. Holy cow.
Oh, Miranda said we need help on guidance on what he wants us to do for Grandma. And I'm just going to leave that one right there, not give any more clarity than that.
I think I mean that's pretty consistent with the reading. I think that strawberry card is the focus card, about looking at the situation from other people's perspective rather than just, the primary person or the primary player. Like not the player one perspective, but the perspective of everyone.
Do you do mediumship?
I am working on it for 2026. This is very interesting that this came up. I had always wondered if that was going to be part of my path. Doing tarot readings and intuitive readings at parties and for clients is one thing. But when you think about, how many people know someone who does this type of thing, you probably don't know many. I mean, you specifically may know a lot more, but just the general population, you may know one or two or three people if you're like really connected. Um, so I started thinking about like when somebody passes away, if they can communicate with us and they've got a message for somebody, what are they going to do? They're going to go to somebody who they knew, who they think might have a pretty likely ability, right? And so one day I was just like, shit, there might be a lot of people trying to like reach me at some point. Like maybe it hasn't happened yet, but like there could be, 1 or 2 years that kind of tip the balance. And I wanted to be prepared for that. And I've actually not told this story yet. This happened, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. I was having a meditation session and I was saying, like, hey, do I really want to do this mediumship thing? Um, because it does involve a certain amount of, practice, making yourself available, setting boundaries with something that is intelligent that you're then giving permission to kind of enter your home and stuff like that. And I was meditating and then I decided to read some tarot cards. I took my deck out. The moon card just fell out of the deck before I could shuffle the cards. And at that same moment, I got a text message, and it was like a spam message, and it says, "Hi, my name is Alicia from Crossover. Are you still open to work?" And I'm zooming in on the words crossover and open to work, and across the apartment, my partner, who's on some kind of Zoom call, all of a sudden breaks the silence and says, "The answer is yes." And I had that same like hair come up on my arms that did when I very first started reading tarot. Like I said, this was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so I reached out to a friend of mine who does mediumship, and I'm like, oh, is this something I'm supposed to be doing? And she said, oh yeah, you have to get on it right away. So as we speak, let's see, where is it? As we speak, I am literally reading this book called Where Two Worlds Meet by Janet Nohavik. Um, she was apparently running a spiritualist church over here in Jersey. And I think she passed away several years ago, maybe 10 years ago or so. But I think there are ethics involved in mediumship. It's not like somebody going to a party and saying, "Ooh, I want a tarot reading." Somebody is coming into a mediumship session with a heavy heart, with a fervent wish to, speak to relatives, and there is you know, a whole, sort of system that you have to develop not only to communicate with spirit and respect your own boundaries and get that information, but also get the type of information that is like,
Yeah.
that is highly specific, that proves to them that you're doing the thing that you're trying to do. So I guess that's a very long-winded answer. I could have just said I'm working on it, but that's what the work looks like. And then after that, it's, getting together with my friends who do this and saying, okay, let's have some practice sessions. Do you recognize this entity? Okay, let me try and tell you some things that I sense about it. And it's just developing the skill that way.
What's really hard is if you get to the point where you can see,
Yeah.
um, and you go into, let's say, a department store, Walmart, whatever the case might be,
Yeah.
and you see a woman just shopping for clothes, and there is a child there saying, "Tell her I'm okay. Tell her I'm okay." How do you walk up to a stranger and say, "There's this little girl," and describe her, telling you that she says she's okay? And
That's
how is this person going to take it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there are plenty of times, I'll take a seat on the subway and like I can't even help it. The person who's sitting next to me, I'll just start getting information from them and I'll be like,
Mhm.
I'll hear the last conversation that they had, or I'll see the room
Yeah.
that they came from, or their walk to the subway. But I don't have to like tell them, oh, hey, I see you had a fight with your wife, and like,
Right.
it'll
Right.
be
No.
weeks. No one's asking for that. But
No.
you open yourself up to spirit. You're not just responsible to your fellow human beings on this plane anymore. You're responsible to something, you know, a lot bigger. And yeah, I'm just trying to do it one step at a time so that I can, feel in my heart and spirit that I'm doing it ethically and for the right reasons and for the right people.
Yeah, and knowing who will accept that is, you know that you're wanting to help that spirit, because it's not going to move on until it gets that. But what if that person isn't ready to hear it? Or, I don't know. There's two kinds of people, I think. And one is they're willing to hear anything from anyone, whether it's a fraud, whether it's not, of what they want to hear. And then there's the ones that just don't want to hear anything. They're not ready. That person's gone. They don't exist. It's gone. And you just don't know who you're dealing with. And I'm not to where I can see things very often.
Mhm.
Um, I only see them in my house.
Right, right.
But I don't know what I would do in that situation. I do know someone who was in that situation and did walk up to that person, but
Mhm.
that stuck with me. Would I do that? Probably not.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that little spirit would follow me home until I did, and that's a whole nother problem that I'm not ready to face.
Yeah.
So,
Hotels also, like you're saying, you sense them in your house. I will always sense them, my house, my apartment, if I'm staying at someone else's house. There is real science behind that. It's when you're trying to do like meditation and things like that. I think your brain waves, they go from like, beta to alpha and then to theta. And it's like that time right before you fall asleep or right when you wake up, that your brain waves are in the right place to be able to sense the presence of spirit. And so yeah, again, like to practice something like this, then you're saying to yourself, well, I'm committing to finding some time in my day or night or middle of the night when my brainwaves in the right place.
yeah, 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 and hotels. I know what happens in hotels. I have worked in hotels, and I know.
Oh, then you really know what happens in hotels. Yeah, yeah.
And I I think there's a barrier there that says nope. I'm no. Um, I actually stayed in a hotel, and Denny was on here earlier, and he I was in a motel that was built in like 18 something.
Mhm.
And so it was a brothel, it was a motel, it was, everything that it could have been.
Yeah.
And it was a haunted place in New Mexico. So I went, and I didn't get too much, but I kept him on the phone with me because he's also medium.
Mhm.
And he was like, don't do this, don't do this. You need to do this, and you need a guard. And he was using his pendulum to
Wow.
communicate. And it was some little girl. I don't even remember the scenario, but I was like, about midnight, I'm going, I probably made the wrong decision doing this by myself and being completely open, saying, yeah, come talk to me. Like, like I can handle all this by myself. Luckily, nothing bad came through, but we won't
I
be.
mean, there's only one way to find out, really. It's just to try.
Yeah, just not by yourself. That is probably not the best idea in the world. Just,
Right.
just no. But yeah, Nate, do you have something to say? Come here.
No, I'm just the live studio audience.
You're the live studio audience. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I thought he was cooking.
I thought so too.
No, that's Nate.
Oh, Nate. Okay.
Yeah, Zach he done cooked, and it was wonderful, and yeah.
I was going to ask, by the way, Adrian, so what did you have this time?
Shrimp and sausage on rice and rolls.
Nice.
Ooh.
He tries to cook something different because I cook the same shit constantly. Like I have run out of ideas. I'm done. And I come down from work at 6 o'clock and try to, figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah,
And we
I
need
am
to be
nobody's
eating by six.
chef.
So,
Yeah, she gets to go straight from work to here on Thursdays. So I'm pretty sure Thursdays are not her easy days.
Thursdays are my easy days because I don't have to cook. All I have to do is come on here and act silly.
I know it does seem like a pretty good setup, Adrian. I got to be honest.
It really is. I could not ask for a better person. I really couldn't. And
They've actually got a pretty nice place over there. The way that they have their house set up, it's pretty cool the way they did it.
yeah, so Zach's in the basement where he has no light and he loves it, and I can't do that. I need light. I need no. Mm-mm. But his migraines don't let him do that. So, and then the middle floor is mom and dad. They're on the main floor because they can't climb stairs. Well,
Right.
dad can, but
Mhm.
mom can't. And my office and our bedrooms are upstairs, and all the guest rooms are upstairs.
Mhm.
So, and bad news, Nick and Jeremy. After his brother comes in February, the red carpet comes through the hallway.
Wait, what was that? You kind of, the sound one kind of went out.
Yeah,
The
last
red
you
carpet is
yeah.
coming out of the hallway
Oh, it is? Why is it coming out?
because it's starting to pull up, and the
Oh,
wood floor,
jeez.
the hardwood floor underneath it is pristine. So we're gonna pull it.
Isn't that rug original, though?
It is.
So a little context for you, Len. The entire third floor is the same color as your screen right now.
It's red.
The
Floor
wallpaper's
is
red.
red. The wall is
Red.
red.
The
We
floor
are
is red.
walking through the
Sounds
red light
amazing.
district.
Yeah.
The
So
only thing that's
people,
not red, surprisingly, is the ceiling.
Why are you not filming in there?
I have, I have pictures in there, and we have investigated in there, and everybody but me has caught a spirit in the corner going to our bedroom.
I
I
haven't.
have not.
I haven't.
Yeah, because you choose not to.
Oh, true. But
I, I, I don't know who that is. However, there is a man that has come twice, and he's in the basement. Don't know why. He's been down in the basement. The first time he, of course, trying to explain this to people is unreal, but I was facing the whole opposite direction, and he was standing behind me at the freezer. I never turn around. I know exactly what he looks like. I know what he wanted in a matter of 2 seconds. and he was looking for his baby, and I'm not sure if it was a born baby or an unborn, but and his wife, and then he was gone. Like that's all. He was just letting me know and gone. And then about a month later, he showed up. I was facing the other direction. He was at my back at my bed, and it was years later. Like his goatee had changed. His clothes were about the same, but his red hair stuck out. He was redhead, and it was just like he was saying, "I'm okay, bye," and that was the end. Gone.
And you don't know who it was.
I have no idea. The only thing we can think of is it was a farmer that used to have this land before this was a home.
Mm,
And this home was built in 1908.
yeah.
So another friend of mine was doing a EVP session and got that a child fell down a well somewhere here. We still don't know what or where, but this was farmland, so I'm sure there was a well somewhere around here. And you know, can't find anything on it in the history. So unfortunately, things are not in books anymore where you can go look at them.
Right.
And
And also, this was like life was just a little more harsh, and this was just kind of the everyday stuff that would happen. It like almost wasn't worthy of
yeah,
having a story.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
And of course, at our wedding, we had our wedding here, and there was more family, dead family here than there was live family here.
Yeah,
And it was like, you know what? That's okay. And every once in a while, we'll see those. But other than that, well, we don't see a whole lot around here. But the sisters, there was 5, I believe, sisters
Mhm.
that lived upstairs, and people would look, the windows upstairs you see from the road, and all you see is red. So they would call that the whorehouse. And it looks like a whorehouse. So yeah, that part of it we're having to do something different with. Ghost, I need you to go away. I don't have food. Go. Go.
Oh,
Go. Your food's in there. Go. Okay.
See, I don't see spirits there because all I see are dogs. They have like 20 of them.
It's always dogs. Yeah.
I do feel like I
Well,
can't recognize the dogs. Like it does always look like a different dog when I see.
we have 4 of our own, and mom and dad have 2.
Oh, that makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, and they're 2 of the little tiny ones.
Yeah, Pixie's on her last leg. She's losing control of her kidneys, and she's on her last leg. But Jasper will become probably fixated to somebody when she's gone because that was his best friend. Max is our new one, and he has dominated and took over. He thinks he's bigger than the other dogs, and he's a rat terrier. So, yeah,
Yeah, so that's how it is now.
yeah, yeah. And then we have our tarantula, my cockatiel. We have fish tanks on every floor, and any other foster that I bring in from the Humane Society. So,
I love it. I think it's great.
yeah, we took our last foster, and I'm now learning vet services, which is waking the animals up from anesthesia after they've had their
Mm. Mhm.
surgeries that they need and are fixed. And I got to go in right when my kitten was coming out of anesthesia, and she was the kind that she would love you. She would rub her nose on your nose and just sweet baby, but scared of the world if she didn't know you. And I just knew I worried about her. I was like, she's so scared. I know she is. She's there in a cage by herself and she doesn't know anybody. And so when she was waking up, I put my hand in there and it's like, here, smell. You know someone, smell. And when she finally come to, they said, do you want to take her to her cage? I said, yeah. So I pick her up, take her to her cage. They said, by the way, she's got Um, it's kind of like a feline AIDS.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what? And they said, well, it could be from her mom. She can shed it. It's okay. But, she just needs a home where others have it too. I was like, okay.
Hmm.
And so I went to go put her in her cage, which kittens get adopted the next day.
Yeah.
There's no, they're gone. And I went to go put her in her cage, and I held her up, and I was talking to her, and she put her nose on me. She was rubbing, and I was like, okay, baby girl, you'll find a home tomorrow. And I put her up there, and she come running back to the cage like, no, no, I need you to take me. So I was like, ah, shit. But yeah, that's the last one for a while till all our company leaves.
And I'm going to be there in 2 months.
Yeah, well, there might be a kitten in the bathroom at that point, but that's
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
No, no, no. You got the dogs, you got the fish, you got the bird.
And we have another cat. We have Cody. He just lives outside and inside, whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, so basically, I'm coming to visit a zoo.
That's what I was about to say.
Nothing
Was that,
better.
yeah, sounds like it's a zoo that you got.
There is
Now we've got a Nate.
there is
Zach is the
nothing
main attraction.
Yeah,
full of yourself,
But-
aren't we?
But here's the thing: the difference about their house and other people's that have many other pets is their house doesn't smell.
That's because there's this one woman that seems to come around quite often, and she steam cleans floors, and she's constantly spraying anti, dog smell stuff all
yeah.
over the
Excuse
place.
me.
Yeah, that little fairy, I like her.
Yeah. Sounds like she's working hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know how it doesn't smell. I really don't. I don't. I'm just glad it don't. Nate, come over here and say hello.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Come over here.
So
Get your
amazing.
ass over here. You can run your mouth. You can come over here and
Hold on.
say hello. You got to the count of 3. 1, 2.
Hello.
There we go.
Alright, come on.
Ah,
Look how big that boy's getting.
Now get your ass out of here.
yeah.
Any unicorns? Yeah, Sue, I'm married to him.
Oh. You
Yep.
should tell them about the whole door thing.
All right. So did you do that reading for Joanne that she was asking about earlier, or did I miss
We
that?
had not gotten there. Yes, Joanne wanted a reading.
Okay.
Because I know that
Who is
Joanne was wanting a reading, and Lauren, well, she's already.
Unfortunately,
Lauren had to go to bed, but go
had to
ahead
go
and
to
do
bed,
Lauren.
yeah.
She will come back tomorrow and rewatch it. She always does.
Well, Lauren was asking about a message from her little brother. She wasn't asking for a reading specifically, so that was why I piped in and asked about her doing mediumship.
So I've got some cards pulled for Lauren. Do we want to? Yeah.
Joanne,
Joanne.
yeah,
Joanne.
Yeah.
she's the one who was asking for a reading.
As for Lauren, don't forget your energy. That's his message.
So timestamp that at 1:25:20. Actually, Nick, you talk to her a lot, don't you?
Yeah, well, not very frequently these last couple weeks, but I've been speaking to her on various occasions. Yeah,
Well, try to remember 1:25:20 is the timestamp that she'll want to watch what Adrian just told her.
That
I,
and let her know.
yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Let her know the wooden box. She'll know what that is. I have no clue. But the wooden box is important. No idea what that is. She hopefully will.
I have a wooden box.
Oh yeah. What's in it?
Nothing right now. But once upon a time, it had Angelia's first haircut in it.
Well, so that's important. Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, but that has been placed somewhere else, and right now there's nothing in the box.
All right.
No, just thought I'd throw that out there.
You said 125.20?
Yeah, 125. Tell her to watch the next minute and a half after that,
Or just tell her what I said.
or that too.
25. Okay, 120. Okay, yeah. What I'm just saying is, I know you had to go, but when you're able to rewatch the later part of the show, be sure to go to 120.25.
125.20.
Oh, 120. I'm sorry, 125.20. Sorry, I got that mixed up.
Just tell her I said. Don't forget her energy.
Yeah.
And the wooden box is important. That's all you got to tell her.
Also said, don't forget your energy, and the wooden box is important too. She knows about the wooden. Does she?
I don't know. I mean that would be her. That's all I got. So that would be something she would have to resonate with. I don't know any more than that.
Okay, Lynn, please proceed.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Please remind me this person's name who I'm doing this read for.
Joanne Stewart.
Joanne. Hi, Joanne. So the first card that I'm pulling here is a reversed tower. So I'm thrilled that it's a reversed tower because this is like the scary card in the deck that shows like catastrophe or series of catastrophes or upheaval. Like no one likes the tower card. So it's reversed. And so it's saying in your case, this is referring to a situation that was awful and big and heavy, but is now finished. And there's this card coming in, crossing it sort of, the sun. The sun can mean two different things. Traditionally in tarot, the sun is represented by the father, so it can be a father or a fatherly influence. The sun can also represent the self and issues of ego. And so together, this is saying the situation has passed, but there is a flavor kind of coloring how you're seeing the situation and you know trying to figure out whose perspective that is there a bigger way to look at that situation that has passed, or is there just this one perspective that needs the attention? I'm pulling a 10 of swords, and so it's saying there is an element of overthinking this situation. When you have a heavy card like the tower followed by the 10 of swords, this can very frequently mean something like PTSD, trouble sleeping, social anxiety, agoraphobia. There's this whole sense of how like somebody's nervous system and sleep system can be disrupted after they've gone through a heavy experience, and it's the body just trying to kind of get itself back into a normal even flow after having to be on high alert. There is a page of wands. This is saying there's a literal question in your query. It's saying, what do I do? What action do I take? And right now there are two pieces to the response. The first one is an Eight of Pentacles reversed. Eight of Pentacles is typically a new job, a gig, a hobby, something like that, and it's reversed. And so the first part of the message is saying, don't take on anything new, new gigs, new hobbies, new income streams. For now, just concentrate on what you have. The next part of the message, you're pulling the Magician card. And so this card is saying you already have everything you need to move forward. You don't need to learn anything else. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to add anything else. Everything that's needed, you already have. You just need to take the step forward. That is what I've got.
I do have to say I really like the designs on all them cards.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful deck. Like I said, it's the we showed it before. It's the Prisma Visions Oracle, and yeah, I agree. I really love the artwork.
Adrian, what the hell happened to you?
Ooh, haircut, Adrian.
So,
Ah,
I am the new
geez.
Adrian.
And I mean, just the way how she is. I mean, no offense, but she really let herself go.
What do you mean? I had a glow up.
Cut her hair, change her clothes, and she's actually petting the dogs instead of squatting them away.
Yeah. Although the old Adrian might be coming back soon. Congratulate her. You're picking up my hair. Oh. You're so mean to me.
Oh yes, you're abused. You're abused.
Very. Start a GoFundMe. I want $10,000.
Good luck with that.
Adrian, you have a private message.
Yeah, it's from me.
Oh, okay.
Ugh. So, Joanne, you satisfied with everything Lynn has said?
I. Where did you send me the message, dude? Because I don't have it.
It's in private chat.
Yeah, it's in the private chat here on EVMux.
Oh, maybe that's why.
It's actually it's in the group chat.
Okay.
So Sue says,
She'll know soon
I
enough.
got a screenshot of the screen, and the auto translate says, near the water, the code is suspected. Whoa!
Jeez, whoa! What the hell was that
Somebody,
all?
That's
somebody
Rosa
needs a
Jack's
milk
fight.
bone.
What was that?
That's
Somebody
Rosa
needs
Jack.
a milk bone.
Max has been wanting to start a fight all day.
So the translation is near the water, the code is suspected to be the market town of Chongqing. And then a whole bunch of Chinese words behind it I am not even going to try to pronounce. Un- Unable to move. So, hey, when I see something like that, I don't even try it. I can just say like that. Just go from there.
Yeah, I don't try either.
So, oh wow, we got 8 minutes to the top of the hour.
Oh wow, how did that happen?
Well, when you're having a good conversation, time tends to fly.
Yep.
Max, you're in trouble, buddy. Don't lick my leg. You're in trouble. You got in trouble. Come on.
Um, I know you told me this off air, but let's also explain to the audience um, another thing that you do. You also happen to have your own show.
Yes,
So,
on
so
the
tell us
third
about that.
the third Wednesday of every month, I am on the Community Pay It Forward program. We have something called Lynn's Day readings. So every third Wednesday of the month, I give live tarot readings to whoever wants to show up and get readings.
So that would explain why I wasn't able to find your shows earlier because I was trying to find something that had your last name so I could put it on the show title. I, finally, I was able to find something for him right around Christmas time.
Yep, yep, yep. And
Yeah.
so the next Lynn's Day is going to be this coming Wednesday.
Ah, this Wednesday. Okay.
This coming Wednesday, yep.
And how is that going for you?
So far, so good. I love it so far. The camera is strange. That's definitely a new element, but um,
Okay,
you
I was going to ask you about that. Do you have one of those setups where it just automatically moves the phone when you move?
I don't know what this is doing. Sometimes it seems like it moves to kind of follow me and like zoom in, and then sometimes it's still. I am technology zero. I have talents in life, and technology is not one of them. So, um,
Okay, because I there are some phone stands when people put their phones on it. There's something on the stand that will like a sensor, and when you move, it moves with you.
there might be something like that in my. I'm on a MacBook right now. It's like a new MacBook, and it might be something called like Center Stage or something like that. But I think there is some sort of effect where it moves. I literally had a doctor's appointment earlier today, and she was like, "If you don't mind, I'm not going to look at you because it's making me seasick."
I really enjoy the fact that
Yeah,
you
I'm
know
not doing that at all.
we can do that with phone appointments. We can do that with our psychologists, psychiatrists. I really like that fact.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there are so many times where like you feel really, really bad mentally or physically or both,
Yeah,
and you're just like, I feel too bad to leave my
yeah,
home, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Or you think about the drive there, and then you got to get it. You got to do this. You got to. By that time, you talk yourself out of even going.
And not every conversation has to be in person, you know? Sometimes you
Right.
just have a question or two and done.
Our job. I am so lucky where I work. We have 6 free um, therapy sessions, and
Ooh,
then 6 free for our family. Anybody we choose in our family
that's
that can do
amazing.
6 free sessions. So, that's really, and you have so many therapists to choose from. You can go through the list and see what they specialize in
Mhm.
and see what you want to do. And if you don't click with them, it's not charged as a session. You can go to the next one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Because that's, I mean, that is a battle in and of itself, finding the right therapist, you know? I mean, that is just like dating or like
Oh yeah.
find a close friend, you know?
And you're spending so much money
Mhm.
on just that one session to go, I can't tell this person anything.
Yeah.
Or I don't think that they act like they
They
are
don't.
even interested. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I am really lucky where I work. It can be grueling, but it's very well worth it. This time of year is the only bad time. It's like, oh, people stop.
Well, that's why I think it's actually really good for Lynn because living in New York City, it can take 5 hours just to go down one city block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily need to be outside, you know? It's,
Yeah.
I have my places I like to go. I personally like to go to parks.
Hmm.
And the further out you go, I mean, like Central Park is a big park, but there are people around. But if you go out to like Hunter's Island or something, there are almost no people in the parks. Those are like the last few vestiges of privacy. That and cemeteries, those are like the wide open spaces to go to.
Yeah, I've seen some of the cemeteries on Long Island. I actually investigated one, real tiny, tiny place. It was put there before the rest of the area was put in, so it's very out of place. Let me let me try to find what the name of that cemetery is, because for some reason it has a reputation of people seeing things there or experiencing there. Um, okay, got my log up. Okay, New York, New York. Let's see. It is Lyceum Cemetery. It's on Hempstead Pike. No, yeah, I think Turnpike, Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage.
Okay. Okay. I have not been to that cemetery, but I know where Bethpage is. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I stayed there when I came that time. I was there for a few days. I stayed at one of the motels in Bethpage, and this one team they came and picked me up. We went to. I finally had a New York pizza.
Oh,
Uh,
oh boy. And
yeah,
you know how I feel about that, Jeremy.
I had I had an authentic. Forget about Chicago. I had
I was gonna say, Lynn, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the rivalry of who's got the best deep dish pizza in the country.
Yeah.
so I
Yeah,
had that authentic.
I will be honest. We always say here in Chicago we got the best, but I'm sure you would disagree since you're in New York.
Well, okay, think about it this way. I am not of New York. I am not of Chicago. So I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm unbiased.
Yep.
Yeah, but when you're actually from one of those areas, I mean, this is like I probably said, this is a rivalry that's been going on since the '60s at
Hey,
least.
I'm going to give you a very unpopular opinion because I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, which is only like 3 hours from New York City. It's like equidistant to Philly and New York City. I grew up with like wood oven pizza, and
Yes.
I I get that there's a New York pizza thing, but I haven't been that impressed. I know, I mean, the thing with New York pizza, it's the water. I mean, everyone goes on about like, oh, New York City tap water and it's so clean and, the groundwater is clean. And so that's kind of like the thing that even though the city is absolutely filthy and that's why everyone wears black all the time, the water, for whatever reason, is really clean. And so when you're making dough and stuff like that and sauces, it makes a big difference in your pizza. But, uh, I think it's kind of mid, honestly.
So is New York
Holy
water really
cow,
clean?
that's a todayism.
Right? Right? Is New York water really clean?
It is. It is. I mean, if you drink
Wow.
the tap water, it tastes so much better. In fact, when I grew up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and, they have a regular, public sewer system, and the water is chlorinated. Both times when I moved from Pennsylvania to New York, within the first like 3 or 4 months that I was here, all of my hair like just cracked and fell off because the difference between washing my hair with the chlorinated water and then moving to New York, the new hair that grew in was like so much nicer.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
man.
Chlorinated. And I mean, even my old driver's licenses, you could see like the curls up here, and then it would just kind of get like stringier and a little bit lighter as it went down.
Wow.
It was
Well,
that.
that leads to a question then, because if New York has a lot, like some of the cleanest water, I mean, what about that whole case like with the East River? Because I heard that's usually the most heavily contaminated river on the eastern seaboard.
We're not getting our water out of the East River for sure.
Okay, okay, good, good.
No, the water's coming from upstate. It's all the other areas of New York that are
Well,
like
that's good. That's
water
yeah, because
come
I
out.
was just thinking, wait, that's not. I was even thinking, wait, that's not like coming from the East River, right?
No, listen, every body of water that I've seen out here is like beautiful to look at if you're hiking, but like I wouldn't want to swim in it at all. No,
Except
absolutely not.
I just got to throw out a funny moment. I don't know if you watched Seinfeld, except that one time when Kramer was swimming in the East River.
My
Did you
my
ever see that
dad
one?
just started watching that show, and I'm like, how in the hell can you watch this thing? But he loves it.
the part I love most is like where he smells like East River, and he's like, "How could you swim in that water?" He's like, "It's not a couple other guys out there swimming." He's like, "Well, floating. They weren't moving much, but they were out there."
Definitely a female thing.
What's that?
Now, what year did you say you moved to New York? About '07?
2007, May of 2007.
Was that before or after the Sully landing?
The what?
Sully, Captain Sully, the airplane that landed.
Oh, that was, I think, after. Yes, when he like had to land the plane, the emergency plane, and landed it. Yeah, I think that was after that.
So what was the atmosphere in New York in general? Because I'm sure you're around the people there, getting to know the city. So what was the attitude of the people there? Because I'm sure something like that had to have dredged up a lot of bad memories of 9/11.
Well, the people who were living here during 9/11, it's a really sensitive point. Um, when 9/11 happened, I was actually finishing my senior year of college. In fact, I was supposed to give a presentation that morning, and I was like finishing the presentation that morning. And so I was like, I didn't have the TV on, I wasn't listening to what was going on. And my dad came running into the house and said, "Oh, there's a plane and it hit the World Trade Center." And I'm going, "Yeah, okay, but I still got to go to class." And I'm driving on the highway to my school, and it was like you could hear a pin drop on the highway, and you could just tell everyone was listening to their radios. And then we got to the school, and there was just a note on the chalkboard that said classes canceled, and the TV was on. I was like, "Oh, that's what's happening." Um, but again, I grew up like 3 hours away from the city, so there are lots of people from my area who either move there or they work there and then live in Wilkes-Barre or Northeast Pennsylvania. Um, so, where I'm from, it just kind of is, some people have family members, some people know someone who is connected to 9/11. Here, everybody knows a lot of people who were either directly involved or had friends or had family.
Mhm.
And, just the sensitivity of becoming a world target. We have all sorts of conversations that happen with our the United States politics and global politics, and there's a real sensitivity here to always being portrayed as like the city that's getting blown up, like, oh, here's the latest sci-fi movie or the latest horror movie, and it shows like, oh, New York City, and like,
Yeah.
it sucks if you're here.
New York is the most populous city in America.
Right. And even right now, it's that's a topic of conversation, is like, how safe is it to be in New York City? I personally hope and pray as a resident, right? Fingers crossed. Everyone knows this is a target. In theory, by now we should be pretty safe. Everyone should know enough to say, well, New York is always a target, and you always have to watch, and you always have to be prepared. Um,
I would rather be more prepared.
it is a different way of like, you kind of have to watch the news more carefully and think about it, because somebody that you encounter outside is going to be impacted somehow.
Mhm. Yeah, right now Colorado is one of the worst places to be just because we have the station here, the nuclear station,
Mm.
and if um what is that, the Yosemite Park, whatever,
Yeah,
if that volcano goes,
Oh, the super volcano. Yeah, the
we're done.
caldera.
Wow.
you're the first ones to go.
Yep,
We're done.
Colorado would no longer exist.
Nope, nope.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, well,
Well, we have kind of our similar issues here too for Chicago. I mean, Chicago sometimes is considered kind of like the second most popular after New York,
Hmm.
but just
LA,
like any city, what's that?
LA.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I meant to say
You
third.
got
It's the
New
third.
York, LA, and I don't know if they consider them together, but you got Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines there. Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
much together, yeah.
I'm sure
But
Chicago is right after that.
okay, yeah, then it's fourth place. I correct myself. But what I was going to say was it's had its share of problems too, very much like a lot of these other cities. Primarily, and I don't bring this up a lot, it's sometimes involving more pollution wise because just across Lake Michigan, you have Gary, Indiana, which
Yeah.
is
Right.
where you have the steel mill, the Gary Works steel mill, which interestingly enough, they are considering possibly within 10 years from now closing that steel mill. I mean, it's been in operation now for over, well over 100 years. And, so it is a historic spot. And yes, that's where a lot of the, people of Gary, Indiana work. But the problem is when you have such a location like that, it's causing all this pollution and this heat. And a lot of it's coming into Chicago, which I wouldn't necessarily say that the air quality is terrible, but of course, obviously, it's one of those locations where the closer you get, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, I just looked up the 2024 estimate. Chicago is actually number three.
Okay, so I was right then. It was the third.
Yeah, Dallas and Fort Worth, they do not combine them, but if they were combined, they'd come up at number five.
Okay.
Houston being number four.
Yeah, I figured Houston would have been next.
Yeah, I
But,
would
it's
I would not have guessed Houston.
yeah, but yeah, Sue brought up the Yellowstone volcano. That's gonna be a major disaster if that blows its top.
Chances are that would not be anywhere near our lifetime.
No, I got a feeling it'll probably happen long after we're gone.
I'm thinking 500 years because that thing would have to start rumbling for a long time before it starts building up. And when I'm talking rumbling, I'm talking where people are going to be feeling it in the ground
Yeah,
for
like earthquakes, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
There's actually even talks about ideas of possible, and I know it's unlikely. There's actually talks about ideas of trying to prevent a super eruption like that, like they say by like cooling the system underground. But even a lot of the scientists are saying that that's near to impossible. That even if they could do that, it would not work. In fact, it would probably make things even worse. So we
That,
just you just
that
can't prevent it.
that would be the equivalent of trying to cool down the sun.
Yeah, exactly. So you just can't. There's just no way to prevent it.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
okay. We're all here for a short while, and we're going to enjoy it while we are.
yeah. So Sue here just gave us a little list of the top 50 pieces.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, the first one is New York City. Wow. One, two, three, four, top
Yeah,
five, and Chicago is nowhere to be seen.
I know.
We'll
Well,
go pizza
I beg to differ.
Neapolitana,
Wah,
New
wah,
York City.
wah.
I beg to differ, especially when it comes to New York City's pizza. I'm
I
always
bet
going to
you
be
do.
rival. I'm always going to be standing on Chicago's side. We're Chicago born and raised. We're born to be rivaling New York City's
You
pizza.
go ahead and eat that Chicago pizza.
Yeah,
Do what you got to do.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just had it a couple weeks ago.
Well, that's good. You eat that Chicago pizza. You get familiar with the word boobies, and then we will have a discussion.
This is a weekly thing that we have.
Yes.
Uh,
I gotta bear the brunt of it.
Yeah, it's we always do the boobies thing with him. Either myself, Adrian, or Chris in the audience does the Illinois thing with him.
Yeah, and that's not how we
Um,
say Illinois.
yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
And once upon a time, we did used to have somebody who was able to be in the audience. He can't anymore because of his work schedule. That Adrian would give him a death threat every week.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always been fun.
He is to be buried with his ass up in the air so that I can kick it every time I go by.
And every time we get in the chat, he would always put in capital letters Alexa, because
Oh yeah,
for whatever reason, Adrian's Alexa would always go off whenever he would get on.
it's
Wow,
Because
always
he
funny
would
every time.
holler her name and then say something, and it would start going off.
Yeah.
that's bizarre.
Yeah. So there's almost never a dull moment on this show.
No, no, definitely not.
No,
Yeah.
and what's funny, we will not tell him this, but now that device is right here. I'm touching it.
So it's even closer.
Huh.
And then
Doesn't
we
know
also
what he
have a
doesn't.
fourth co-host, but because of her job, she hadn't been on for a very long time.
She's from Mississippi. And a lot of times too, she's in fact kind of the one that kind of started this whole thing with the name of Illinois differently.
She did, yeah.
I'm ashamed to admit it. See, I just thought originally, because I'm just going to be honest, I thought originally she was only saying that because she's from Mississippi. She's from the South. And I know a lot of people down in the South do pronounce Illinois wrong. So, but
Well,
Yeah, they
okay.
have their own language down there.
yes, they do.
So, I mean, it's no different than Arkansas River or Arkansas River.
Arkansas, yeah.
If you're from Kansas, it's the Arkansas River. If you're from Arkansas, it's the Arkansas River. If you're from anywhere else, Louisville. If you're
Yep.
from Louisville, it's Louisville. If you're from somewhere else, it's Louisville. And that just drives
Yeah,
me
and
crazy.
we got a Louisville. I told you guys we got a Louisville here too, down in central Illinois.
That's
And
Louisville. That is said Louisville.
yep,
That's y'all's little deal over there. There's one here too, but Kentucky, it's not the
Louisville.
Louisville bats. It's a Louisville bat.
Yeah, Louisville.
What gets me is we have a Louisville here and it's spelled differently.
Yeah, Lewisvisve
Yeah.
Ville. Yeah, that is Louisville. That's not Louisville.
Yeah,
Right,
there's
but every time I look at it in my mind, I want to say Louisville because it's the same general pronunciation as the other Lewis.
yeah.
So
Well, and
it's
people
trippy.
I've heard people who come down to Louisville, Illinois, they're under the impression it's supposed to be called Louisville, and the residents always have to correct them, saying, "Okay, if we understand if you come from Louisville, Kentucky, that city, but we may have the exact same name, but that's not how we pronounce it over here. It's Louisville, period."
Let's not get started on New Orleans.
Oh God, yeah.
Nolans.
Them
Nolans.
people get downright vicious when you mispronounce their town.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
ashamed
New
to admit I said,
Orleans or New Orleans. It's Nolans.
yeah, and I'm ashamed to admit we always called it New Orleans, but now I'm trying to get used to calling it Nolans.
There you go.
Well, Nick, another mispronunciation that I'm trying to correct Don on is Dr. Seuss.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Dr. Seuss?
Oh, Dr. Zoyce. Okay.
You don't know who I'm talking about, do you?
I've heard of the name, but that's all I know.
Cat in the Hat,
No.
What?
Christmas.
What?
That's his,
Voice?
Zoyce. That's the correct pronunciation of his name.
So much. All right.
Voice. Wow.
I
Look it
didn't
up.
know that, but okay.
Look it up. It's actually pronounced Dr. Zoyce.
I'm gonna put a note in my phone that says Dr. Zoyce / Seuss, and I'll find it like 5 months from now and have no idea what it was from.
Okay.
Is this a movie I'm supposed to watch?
So it's supposed to be originally that was like Dr. Seuss's name.
Well, that's how everybody always pronounced it. But if for people who ask him, he would initially say that is actually Zoyce, but he came to accepting both pronunciations, and over time, that's how it became accepted.
Yeah,
Kind of
Braxton came back in because I
Yeah.
said Nolans right.
Well, I was just thinking to myself too. It's kind of like similar with Matt Groening. of The Simpsons, and a lot of people always thought his last name was supposed to be pronounced Matt Groening.
That one got me. It took me some time to remember his.
I used well, and I'll that makes two of us because I used to pronounce it as Matt Groening too.
Yeah, so actually I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share. Um, I don't know how well this is going to work. All right. Right there.
Hmm.
Huh.
See it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zeus.
I like it.
Zeus. Sauce.
And right there.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Geisel. Geisel.
Okay, maybe not. There was there was a thing, but Theodore Zois Geisel. So
Hmm.
yeah,
That's pretty cool, actually.
Hmm.
but yeah, that um, Don, he is the host of Fear Fans, which is the horror movie review show that we have on this network on Tuesday nights. We've been doing some of the offshoot movies, like the Mean One. Just did a review of that, and I'm always correcting him on Dr. Zois's correct pronunciation. Granted, I get it. Everybody pretty much accepts it the wrong way, but it's one of those things that I am not too proud to correct somebody on. So, but you learned something today.
Did.
Yeah, you do.
I did too.
So,
You learn something new every day.
yes. All right. Anything we need to cover before we head out? Because we're already 20 minutes beyond the second hour.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to leave early, like I said, Jeremy.
No, I do think we need to. So Lynn's going to be on our 22-hour thing as well, right after our show. So we will
Do that.
we'll make sure we're on that. Of course, that'll be advertised on all our stuff too. And I think we are good. Maybe.
Yeah, because we'll be doing our own segment there. I'm working on with Tim and Scott to see a good time slot for us to do 13th Dimension on that one.
Mhm.
Speaking of 13th Dimension, Lynn, I would like to try to get you on that show as well. That's on Fridays, 7 to 8. And I do try to do a hard end on that one. Mainly because at 8 o'clock, WWE SmackDown comes on and I want to watch it.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of 13th Dimension, tomorrow night I am going to have John Ward on the show. He is the author of the Scareville series, and his newest book, an adult theme book, A Blackened Heart, A Blackened Soul, is actually coming out tomorrow. And I was fortunate enough to get him on my show on release day. So that's kind of a pretty special thing to have there because that you only get one shot at something like that for any author. So I got
Right.
that with John.
That's going to be a very special one.
Yeah, it is. I've got 13th Dimension booked up all the way almost to the end of next month.
Wow.
I'm going to be a busy beaver for the next month and a half. Holy cow! Um, oh, Nick,
Yeah.
I know that you weren't able to see it in the other chat, but Friday the 13th, I am doing Friday the 13th show.
Oh, awesome. That will be great.
Yeah, so you can hop on if you want because we will be talking about the film series.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and you know me, I always dress up for Friday the 13th, so I'll make sure to do that.
Oh, I know. Well, we did that one time when we relaunched 13th Dimension that one year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right.
So, all right. So, Lynn, where can everybody find you if you want them to find you?
You can find me at footnotestarot.com. You can find me on the community pay it forward list of giving partners. You can find me every third Wednesday of the month, this coming Wednesday on Lynn's Day. Um, I rejoined Facebook this year, scandal of scandals. So I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm decently findable.
All righty, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for playing along with us. I know for some areas we're expecting some snowstorms, so be careful out there. Be safe. I know that we got slammed hard here in my area last night. Um, wasn't pretty. I was actually out in the middle of all that. That was not fun.
Apparently, we're supposed to be getting snow like that in less than a half hour, in about 26 minutes from now. So it's
Yeah,
going to be starting up, and I'm kind of a little concerned about how if I'm a little bit concerned about tomorrow because tomorrow night I'm actually supposed to be heading out to a special paranormal dinner at Texas Roadhouse in Sycamore, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away from where I live west, and it all depends on how the roads are going to look. It's kind of my first paranormal, kind of in a way like my first paranormal road trip for 2026. Unusually early, but it will still be fun if we're able to get out there.
well, we got lucky. It was supposed to start snowing again at 12. Now it's not. It's supposed to wait until 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm
Yep.
I'm just fortunate. I don't even have to leave the house if I don't want
Yep,
to.
that makes to us. Yeah, it's probably gonna be the same system that's about to affect us. That's probably gonna be affecting your area later.
Yeah,
Probably.
because yesterday was not pretty. It snowed on us 3 times, and the first time I was actually at a dentist appointment. It was nice and clear when I went inside. When I came outside, there was already that much snow.
Yep,
It was sleeting, and it was coming down almost sideways.
that's exactly with what we had too. The same system. Yeah, it was snowing like 3 or 4 times for us too. So
Yeah,
same exact issue.
yeah. So and I had to drive clear across Fort Wayne to get home.
Oh man.
Luckily, everybody was going real slow on the way home.
Right, right. That's good.
Yeah, at least on the road that I was.
Yeah.
I heard otherwise elsewhere, but
Yeah.
I won't get into that. All right, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Len, thank you so much for being on with us tonight. Very
Thank
fun.
you much for having me.
We
I'm sure
will,
we'll have you back.
yeah, we will definitely have you guys back on. At some point, I will get with Zach to reach out to you for 13th Dimension,
Yes, please. So
and we'll just kind of go from there. But until then, um, thank you for being on with us tonight.
thank you so very much. This was an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to see you guys again.
All right, everybody. And until next week, be safe out there. Have fun. Have a good, safe weekend. And we will see you guys later. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.